So dear students, let's start with our lesson on today's topic, Lifelines of National Economy for Class 10 Geography, Unit number 7. Before we start our lesson, I would like to ask you one question regarding our topic on transport and communication. Since transport and communication serve as lifelines of our country and its economy, how far is it true? Let's see. Let's have a check. The answer comes like this. Number A, transport and communication help in the movement of agricultural and industrial products. If we are going to sell industrial products, if we are going to sell agricultural products to other markets, then this transport and communication will help immensely. Okay. And number B, they promote travel and tourism. Since India is a land of diversity, people of all countries like to visit India very much, and they would come to India for tourism and for traveling. So without transport and communication, how can they do these things? Okay. Likewise, in number C, they are essential to national integration. Various people from various parts of the country are mixed up by this transport and communication. They make a national integration way of living. Okay. So number D, they are the basis of industries and trade. Without transport and communication, how can we transport our industrial products? How can we trade by the traders? Okay. So likewise, they are very essential. They bring distant places as close as possible. Many distant places are well connected by this transport and communication. Okay. In number F, they contribute much to the socio-economic progress. So, in this world of globalization, we are living in a socially and economically progressive society nowadays. So, how these two things, transport and communication, bring each other, and they contribute much to our socio-economic progress. Okay, next we are going to discuss about means of transport. So here there are various means of transport. We can find it here: land transport, water transport, air transport. And out of this land transport, we have three ways: roadways, railways, pipelines. Okay. Likewise, in waterways, we have inland waterways, overseas waterways. Inland waterways, which are used for transporting goods and people into the water bodies of the country, through the water bodies of the country, like rivers, lakes, canals, etc. And for overseas traveling with foreign countries, so we use big steamers like that, and for going to overseas. And for air transport, we have two modes of transport here. One is national air transport, and the second one is international air transport. And out of this, national air transport is again subdivided into two types. First one is public undertaking, and here we are going to take the name of Air India and Indian Airlines. Likewise. And for private airlines, we have Sahara India, Kingfisher, Indigo, and then Air Asia, like that. That's all. Okay. Now we'll go on to land transport. Okay. Among the land transport, roadways is the most important one. Why? Let's have a discussion here. India has one of the largest road networks in the world. Roads have an edge over railways. It tells here like this. I'll explain. Okay, listen carefully. Okay. Among the land transport, roadways is the most important one, and India has one of the largest road networks in the world. The first largest road network in the world is owned by USA. So India may be ranked in the third position after Russia. Okay, let's have a discussion here. First of all, we'll discuss about advantages. Okay. Number A, cost of construction and maintenance of roadways is much lower than that of railways. It's definitely true. Okay, because when we are going to maintain railways, we will be spending on a huge amount of rupees. Okay, but for construction of roadways, we don't have to spend much energy. We don't have to spend much money. Okay, in number B, I'll have an explanation here. It's easier to construct roads in rough and deserted terrains like hills and mountains. So here again, we are going to discuss about the geographical difficulties of building roads in the hills and mountains. Okay, but when we are talking about the building of roads in the hills, it's very much easier than that of railways. Okay, and in number C, roads can negotiate steep slopes and sharp turns. For going up to the lofty mountains, we need roads, not railways, because they cannot do such things there. Okay, so when we are going to turn, U-turn, L-turn, like that, huh? So in that type of turns also, roads are very advantageous than that of railways. Okay, and in number D, we're going to talk about the cheap rates of roadways. Okay, so they are the cheapest means of transport in short distances for a few persons and small amount of goods. This one is also definitely true. It holds true. How? Let's have a check. Okay. When we are transporting a few persons and also about a small amount of goods, then only roads, they are going to give you the cheapest means of transport. Okay. Likewise, in number E, it tells that they also provides door-to-door services, thus reduces the cost of loading and unloading. Okay. For each and every door, for each and every gate, railways cannot stop in each and every gate of the village. But in roadways, when we are transporting through roadways, we can stop in each and every gate for delivering the goods and services. Okay. In number F, it tells that they are used as a feeder to other modes of transport as they link railway stations, airports, and seaports. Okay. This one is also a big point. Okay. Let's have a discussion. When we are going to the airport, we cannot fly just directly to the airport. Instead of that, we are using road transport into a vehicle, and after getting down from the vehicle, we just enter the airport for taking the tickets. Like what? So, again, when we are going to the railway station, we just go through the roadways. Likewise, when we are about to reach the seaport, we are just using roadways. That's the way we are doing. In number G, it tells that roads are indispensable for the defense of India's borders. India has a land border with Myanmar, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, etc. The northeastern part and the northern part of India. Okay. Again, For the security measurement of India's borders, we need roads, not railways in the border, not airports in the border, not seaports in the border. So only roads can do such things for defense of India's borders. Again, in number H, they are suitable for carrying perishable goods like vegetables, etc. So, hence, there is growing importance of roads in the country. When a teacher asks you, there is a growing importance of roads in the country, explain how, then you are going to just give the answer from number A up to H. Yes, that's it. So there are two types of roads based on the type of materials used for the construction. Okay, let's have a check. The first one is metal rods, meaning surfaced rods. Rods which are made of concrete, cement, or bitumen of coal. Okay, and these rods can be of all weather type. They may be used in any type of weather. Okay, and the second one is unmetalled rods, and these are unsurfaced rods, meaning they are made of only stone or mud, like that, and roads which may go out of use in the rainy season, which cannot be used in the rainy season, which cannot be used properly in the rainy season due to their muddy condition. Okay. Again, we are going to discuss about the 6 types of roads based on the capacity and administration. And here, in the first category, we have superhighways or expressways. These are 6-lane roads built and maintained by National Highway Authority of India. Okay, National Highway Authority of India, with an objective to reduce the time and distance between the megacities of India. Okay, we have so many megacities in India. So in order to connect these megacities in less time, the government of India has laid a 6-lane road. Okay, and these roads is built and constructed and maintained by the National Highway Authority of India. Okay, again, these type of roads have 3 subtypes. The first one is golden quadrilateral, and this golden quadrilateral is of around 5,846 kilometers long. Okay, then I'll have an explanation here. This golden quadrilateral is a superhighway linking or connecting Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata quadrilaterally. Okay, how? Let's have a check. Okay, again, we'll move on to the next point. So now we are going to discuss about number B, north-south corridor. This type of roads is of 4,786 kilometers in length, and this is a superhighway which links Srinagar, the capital city of Jammu and Kashmir, with Kanyakumari, the extreme southernmost point of mainland India in Tamil Nadu. Okay, and number C, it's about east-west corridor, and somewhat a bit less than north-south corridor when comparing the length, and this is of 3,640 kilometers in length, and this superhighway links Silchar town, a city in Assam, okay, in the state of Assam, with Porbandar, a city in Gujarat state of India. And in Roman number 2, we are going to discuss about the national highways, and this national highway is constructed and These type of roads are constructed and maintained by the Central Public Works Department or the central government under National Highway Authority of India's supervision, linking the state capitals, major cities and important ports of India. And this national highway carries 40% of the road traffic in India. We have to remember this much, okay? And now we're going to take a few important national highways of India. Okay, let's have a check. Shershah Suri Marg. This is a historic road which connects Kolkata, West Bengal and Peshawar, a city in Pakistan, during the post-British period. And this Shershah Suri Marg was renamed the Grand Trunk Road. In which period? During the British period. Now it has two bifurcations. First one is National Highway number 1 and second one is National Highway number 2. We'll discuss it in detail about those things here. National Highway number 1. This national highway links Delhi with Amritsar in Punjab. And this highway will go through Ambala and Jalandhar. Next, National Highway number 2. This national highway links Delhi and Kolkata, and it will go through Mathura and Varanasi in UP. Okay. And National Highway number 3. It links Agra and Mumbai through Gwalior and Nasik. Gwalior is in Madhya Pradesh and Nasik is in Maharashtra. Okay. This National Highway number 7 links. Okay. This is the longest national highway in India, and the length is 2,369 kilometers. Okay. This national highway links Varanasi and Kanyakumari. Okay, Varanasi is in Uttar Pradesh and Kanyakumari is in Tamil Nadu. And this highway will go through, okay, this highway runs via Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh, Nagpur in Maharashtra, Hyderabad in Telangana, Bengaluru in Karnataka, and Madurai in Tamil Nadu. Okay. National Highway number 8. This highway links Delhi and Mumbai. So now we are going to discuss about state highways in Roman number 3. Okay. These type of roads are built and maintained by the state governments. PWD, Public Works Department, and the links the state capital with their district headquarters. Okay. So after this, in number 4, district roads. Okay, let's see. These roads connect the district headquarters with other places of the district. Those places lying within the district are connected to that district headquarters. So this type of roads are called district roads, and this type of roads are maintained by the Jilla Parishad of that district. Okay. Then number 5, rural roads and other roads. Okay. All types of inter-village roads linking villages with nearby towns are included in other roads or rural roads. Under the impetus of Prime Minister Gramin Sadak Yojana, each and every village is to provide with an all-season surface roads linked to a nearby major town. Okay. This PMGSY, Prime Minister's Gramin Sadak Yojana, is a scheme for road building initiated by the government of India. Okay. So under this scheme, each and every village is to be provided with an all-season, all-weathered surface roads. which is to be again linked to a nearby major town. Okay, now we'll go on to border roads. Okay, border roads organization, in short, BRO. So this organization was established in 1960. Okay, and it builds and maintains roads of strategic importance. Okay, strategic importance in the northern and northeastern borders of India. Okay, let's have a look again. So the word strategic means especially for defense purposes. Okay, defense purposes. Again, we shall have a look on the advantages of roads, advantages of border roads. So these border roads have helped the economic development in the border areas. Those villages or local areas that are lying along the border, they got their economic development through border roads. Okay. Number B, these border roads have strengthened the defense preparedness with improved accessibility in the difficult terrain along the borders. Okay, so by the movement of the Army, Navy, Air Force, etc. I mean, especially the Army along the border. So the preparedness had been strengthened. Military preparedness had been strengthened by having border roads. If there is no border roads, then how can they go through the border? Okay, so that's why they give strength to the military along the border. When there is difficult terrain like hills and mountains, gorges, rivers, etc. So coming up next, it's about some important border roads. Okay, I have selected only 2 out of these. Okay, the first one is Kardungla Road in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so this is the world's highest road, built at a height of 5,600 meters above the sea level. So this Kardungla Road is located in Jammu and Kashmir. Next, Manali Leh Road. Okay, Manali is in Himachal Pradesh and Leh is in Ladakh. Okay, so these 2 places are connected by a very important border road, and this border road ranks 2nd in the world according to the height, according to the altitude, and it is constructed at a height of 4,217 meters. Next, it's about road density. Okay, the length of roads per 100 square kilometer of an area is known as road density. That means, given an area of 100 square kilometer, okay, in that area, how much length of roads are available? So that is called road density. So in India, distribution of roads is not uniform. So let's see about it. The density of roads vary from about 10 kilometers in Jammu and Kashmir. It's only 10 kilometers in Jammu and Kashmir, the density of roads is. So, and it varies to about 387 in Kerala and about 532.27 kilometers in UP, against the national average of 125.02 kilometers as per 2007 and 8 data. So the government of India, according to the data collected by the government of India, the road density in India is not uniform. It's only 10 kilometers, about 10 kilometers in Jammu and Kashmir, and about 387 kilometers in Kerala, and again it's about 532.27 kilometers in UP, and the national average is 125.02 kilometers. Again, What are the problems faced by roadways? Let's have a discussion here. Okay. First, it's about regarding considering the volume of traffic and passengers. Road network is inadequate. Let me interpret again. So, we need more road networks. We need more road networks regarding considering the volume of traffic and passengers, because each and every year there is an increasing number of vehicles and passengers passing on the road. So that's why. And number B, more than half, almost about 50% or about half of the roads are unmetalled, and this limits their usability during rainy season. During the rainy season, we cannot use this type of unmetalled roads because of the muddy condition. So about half of the roads in India are unmetalled. So this creates a problem during the rainy season. And in number C, even the national highways are inadequate too. Okay, we need more national highways. It's very inadequate. It tells like that. Okay, in number D, roadways are highly congested in cities and towns. Yes, it's definitely true, because each and every year we have an increasing number of vehicles and passengers plying on the road. That's why we are facing this type of congestion in cities and towns. And again, in the last point, most of the bridges and culverts are old and narrow. Okay, so most of the bridges require new construction type, and even the culverts are old and too much narrow. So that's why most of the vehicles cannot pass through nicely, properly. So that's why. So among the land transport, we have finished about roadways. Now we are going to discuss about railways. So first of all, we'll be starting with the overview. Okay, in number A, okay, the historical aspects. Let's have a look. The first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853, covering a distance of 34 kilometers. Okay, the first place in India where railways have been practiced is from Mumbai to Thane. Okay, in the year 1853, and it covers a distance of about 34 kilometers. Okay, in number B, it tells that nowadays we are having over 7,000 stations, over 64,000 kilometers of road length, 9,000 fleets of locomotives, and over 53,000 passenger service vehicles, about 6,500 other coaches, other vehicles, other coaches, and more than 20,000 wagons. In India, we are having these things. Okay. In number C, in India, the railways have been run through 3 gauges. The first one is broad gauge, and the length is the distance apart between the 2 rail tracks is 1.676 meter. And for the meter gauge, the distance apart between the 2 tracks of rail is 1 meter. And for the narrow gauge, we have 2 kinds. Okay, first one is 0.762 meter, and the second one is 0.610 meter. So these 3 types of gauges are still in use in Indian railways. Okay, again in number D, Indian railways. Okay, the largest government undertaking in the country, the largest private sector, the largest public sector undertaking in the country is owned by Indian Railways. How? Let's see. Okay, it employs about 1.8 million workers, and it carries more than 888 million tons of freight, 888 million tons of goods. Okay, and about 95% of goods traffic, I mean freight traffic, and 70% of passenger traffic is carried by railways in India alone. Okay, for the railways, goods traffic is far more important than passenger traffic. Again, each day 18,000 trains carry 13 million passengers. So these are the complete data about railways, I mean about the overview. And here I'll have to put one more point, number E. It's now organized into 16 railway zones. It's divided into 16 railway zones. Okay, so such a division facilitates traveling throughout the country. Okay, in number B, we are going to discuss about the types of engines. Okay, steam engines. In earlier period, we are using steam engines, but nowadays we are gradually replacing the steam engines by diesel engines and electric engines. And in number C, in big metropolitan cities of India like Kolkata and Delhi, we are using metro rail, which has been run under the surface. So this type of urban transport system has changed the way of traffic. I mean about the decongestion of traffics. Volume of traffics has been decongested by the metro rail in the metropolitan cities. Now we are going to discuss about the distribution of railways in India and their problems. Okay, based on physiographic, economic and administrative factors. Okay, first, it's about northern plains. In the northern plains, they have vast level land, okay, and high density of population, okay, and advanced agriculture and developed industries. So that's why the density of railways is very much high in the northern plains. So they favor the growth of railways. Okay. However, the problem will be arising here. However, a large number of rivers requiring construction of bridges across their wide beds posed some obstacles. Okay. Many wide rivers are there in the northern plains. So in order to construct railways in the northern plains, we need some more maintenance. Okay, so in order to overcome those obstacles, we are facing some kind of problems. Okay, and in B, in the hilly terrain of peninsular region, okay, in peninsular India, the rocks, I mean the topography of peninsular India, the rock formation of rocks is of old igneous rock. So cutting railway tracks through low hills and gaps or tunnels is a major problem. So here again, the railway density is somewhat poor compared to northern plains. Okay. In number C, the Himalayan regions are unfavorable for construction of railway lines. For what? Due to deep gorges, sparse population, and lack of economic development. Okay, little development is there in the Himalayan region due to their little population, sparse population, and the hilly terrain figure induces the construction of railways into a major problem. So it's unfavorable to construct railway lines in the Himalayan region. Okay, in number D, it's difficult to lay railway lines in the sandy desert of Rajasthan, swamps of Gujarat, forested parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Jharkhand. Let's have a look again. Okay, sandy desert of Rajasthan. How can the railway tracks be built there? It's a major problem. And in the swampy desert, swampy region of Gujarat, as in the Gulf of Kutch, it's difficult to lay railway lines in that areas. And again, it is said that in the forested parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Jharkhand, it's difficult to lay railway lines. Okay, and number E, Sahyadri Range. This hilly range could be crossed only through gaps and passes. Okay, hill passes, mountain passes, or gaps. Only through that they can be crossed. Why? Because of the hard igneous rock type. Okay, so number F, it has also faced a number of problems such as sinking of tracks in some stretches and landslides. Okay, sinking of tracks under the ground, sometimes it also happens, and even in mountainous regions, I mean near the hillsides, landslides occur frequently. So that's why the problem arises. And in number Z, it's about Konkan railways. This railway line runs along the west coast of India between Mumbai and Mangalore. And this railway line is considered as an engineering marvel because you know that here the formation of rock is of old hard igneous rock type. So that's why the railway engineers have painstakingly constructed this railway project here. So again, it facilitates the movement of passengers and goods from the megacity of Mumbai and towards Mangalore in Karnataka. Okay, so passing through those two cities is a major obstacle when regarding the landform features. Okay, so that's why it is regarded as an engineering marvel. It took so many years to build this project. So now we are going to discuss about the advantages offered by railways. So many advantages had been offered by railways. First, this is the main means of transport for freight and passengers. For carrying passengers, for carrying goods over long distance, railways are the main means of transport. Okay. Number B, define the economic life of the people of this country, and they accelerate the development of industry and agriculture. How? Let's have a look. Okay, the economic life of the country, I mean when selling products to the more areas, to the areas where the demand is high, and then they accelerate the development of industry and agriculture, carrying goods in short period of time, huge amount of goods in short period of time to each and in every nook and corner of India. Okay, so they bind the economic life of the country. Okay, in number C, it tells that railways have become more important in our national economy than all other means of transport put together. Okay. Earlier we have discussed about these things. So a few minutes ago we have been already discussed. There we have known that when putting all means of transport together, railways contribute more than 50% of the transportation of freight and passengers. So it become more important in our national economy than all other means of transport put together. Okay. Number D. They are particularly useful for carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distances. Okay. Heavy goods and bulky goods, like massive transformers, massive vehicles has been again carried by the railways by transporting through over long distances. So likewise, they are particularly useful for carrying heavy and bulky goods. Okay. In number E, railways made it possible to conduct multifarious activities like business, sightseeing, and pilgrimage. Okay. When people go for pilgrimage to Prayaga in Allahabad, they use railways. Most of them use railways. When we are going for sightseeing, we use railways over long distances. And for business also, railways contribute much to our national economy. So that's why it's possible, they made it possible to conduct multifarious activities. Okay. In number F, they contribute to national integration for more than 150 years. Okay. For more than 1.5 centuries, the railways have contributed to our national integration. They bind together the people. Okay. Culturally, economically, industrially, they bind it. Okay. Now, following up next, it's about problems created by mischievous passengers. Okay. Let's have a look. Many passengers travel without ticket. How can a good citizen do like this? So, they are of mischievous type of passengers. Okay. So they travel without tickets. It's a major nuisance in the railways. Okay. Number B, thefts and damaging of railway properties is still continuing. Okay, is still going on, is continuing. Okay. Many railway properties has been damaged. Some of the railway properties like fans has been theft. Okay. Likewise, so and so goes on. And in number C, people stop the trains sometimes and pull the chain unnecessarily. And just imagine, this causes trains not running as per the scheduled time. The train must reach to the destination in time, but if they stop the train or pull the chain unnecessarily, then how can the train reach to that destination on time? So this is a problem.